answer lies in the heart of battle.
King of Iron Fist Tournament.
Mugen TV versus Corner.
Welcome to the stage of history retold.
Hey guys, it's MugenLord here, and I'm back again with another video, and we are back again with some more Granblue Fantasy Versus. It's been quite some time since we revisited this game, and I made sure, and I always made sure that whatever news come out for this game, that I was going to update you guys on this channel. But so much has been released, coming from side games and Arc System Works for this game, but for some reason they've been more so releasing a lot of this information on their Japanese YouTube channel, so you haven't really seen any like pretty much North American or just English release trailers for this game. It's like they've been really quiet about this game. But as far as this game is concerned, I'm really excited for this game. I love the beta. I had gained access to the closed beta for the first time. I gained access to a beta for once, a closed beta for once, and I really enjoyed the hell out of this game. I like the direction that they're going with Granblue Fantasy Versus, and it looks like with this game that they're trying to pretty much experiment and try different things with the gameplay mechanics to try to bring in newcomers while still making it engaging and have layers of depth for competitive players. But I really like the direction they're going, the characters, the gameplay, and they also add in more features, but we definitely want to get into that in a few seconds. But first of all, there's been an accumulation of information and releases of newer characters in their character trailer as well. Just recently a new character was revealed. Her name is Zeta. Zeta was just revealed just now, and she's pretty much this fearless fighter that belongs to some type of society which hunt down primal beasts and everything, and she carries a double-edged spear, which I think is pretty cool, and the name of the spear is called Arvis. And at this point, I think she's pretty much like a mid-range or pretty much a long-range fighter, and I just love the effects. I love the armor that this character have. I think she's pretty badass, and just looking at her moveset, she's definitely like a character I definitely would love to give a try. I love characters with badass armor, and lances has become or scythe or spears have become a favorite weapon of mine lately, is because I do love the range on the weapons, and I just didn't notice how much spears are pretty cool in fighting games, so I'm definitely going to give her a try. But she also came with included, I guess, another character who's pretty much fight alongside her as well. Now the name of this character is named Vesraga, Vesraga, however you pronounce it. Now this character is pretty huge, a pretty hulking character. I think it's pretty cool. This character pretty much carry a great scythe named Granblue. I think that's a badass name too. So this character is pretty much going to be our heavy character. We already have our grappler character, but this guy is pretty much going to be pretty much a bully, a beast. It kind of reminds me of Astroth with this character. And I love the design with the armor. I love the effects that this character have, and it seemed like for a big character, this character is going to pretty much cover the screen, and his attacks is going to be pretty much very wide and expansive and everything, which I think is pretty cool. And like, this character moves pretty fast to be pretty big. He reminds me of the Juggernaut in the Marvel Versus series too, as far as his size is concerned. So I think that's also pretty cool. But there's also a few other characters that I forgot that they even announced as well, that I'm pretty much looking forward to in Granblue Fantasy Versus. Now this next character is named Madara. Now she's pretty much a character with a bow. Now her design is just ridiculous. She has these heels which look hot, they look dope, but her heels are like daggers that she's standing on. How can she balance herself on that? But the armor looks badass. And now we have a character that's pretty much long range. She pretty much fight with a bow. Fairy is long range too, but like I'm not sure if she's from the same race as Fairy, because Fairy, she has the whip, which is pretty much a long range, and she's more palish looking. And this character right here, Madara, she's pretty much have more of a, I guess you could say, more of a colored tin skin tone to her and everything. So I'm not sure if she's from the same race or not. But long range characters I noticed in Granblue Fantasy Versus is pretty much not my bag of tea. I don't really like the long range characters. I love the designs and everything, but Fairy was a character that I could not play. And it seemed like, even though despite Madara looking pretty cool and everything, I don't believe that she's going to be a character that pretty much fits my playstyle, especially for this game. And the thing is, I noticed once people get in on these type of characters, it's hard to really keep them out. and that's the problem that I had. So you really have to be good at spacing and zoning out your opponents and everything. And I definitely love how at the end she blows a kiss at you, or she kisses the screen, which I think is pretty cool. So a lot of you guys who love fan service, you pretty much would like this character. So it was another character that I had no idea that they also announced as well, because these characters has been revealed so quietly. Like, I had no idea that these characters were even revealed at all. So now we have the Lord of Flames. This guy looks, when I say badass, he looks like a badass. Now this guy's named Percival. Yeah, he's a flame swordsman. He has a long sword and he has this badass red and silver armor, and it seems like he's pretty much the opposite of Lancelot, which Lancelot has the blue and gold armor. So it looks like they may have some history with one another, as far as they may have fought each other, maybe rivals, may have been war buddies. I don't know, because I don't know the lore, but he looks like the opposite of Lancelot. This guy, he pretty much mid-range character, has quite a few projectiles that looks pretty interesting, and all his flame animations look pretty dope. So I can't wait to see this character in action as well. And he doesn't seem as fast-paced as Lancelot, so I do see the difference between both of these characters. Now the thing that really struck my interest the most, that I really want to just talk about and focus on for 1 second, is the fact is that these guys are adding a RPG mode. Arc System Works is working on an RPG mode for this game. Now these guys are really being ambitious, trying different things, different formulas with their fighting games. And I think since Granblue Fantasy, first of all, is a mobile RPG, which is also, they coming out with an action RPG that Platinum Games is helping side games develop for the PS4 and whatever other console they're trying to release it on. It seemed like they wanted to transfer that over to the fighting game as well. You'll be able to pick different stages. Each stage is going to have different conditions. Even though the trailer is in Japanese, it's pretty much self-explanatory. There's other characters that you interact with, and maybe even choices that you have to make. And the cool part about it is also there's talks that it's going to be co-op as well. And what I like about it is too, you're not just fighting just the characters that's already in the roster. You actually fighting NPCs as well. You fighting knights, you fighting guards, you fighting monsters and everything, and you fighting on like a 2D plane. So you definitely going to have that aspect in there. And not only that, similar to an RPG, you'll be able to equip different weapons, so your weapon would not only look different, will actually have different status effects as well, which I think is pretty cool. And then certain characters will also have status effects, which I think is pretty cool. And you'll be able to collect loot, and you'll be able to gather different materials and resources and stuff like that. So they really trying to push this whole fighting game with make it a hybrid fighter RPG / fighting game, which I think is pretty cool. Then there's also boss fights as well. Like, you can't go wrong with this. So it looks like they're going to pack a lot into this game. Now, from the looks of it and from what I've saw and what I've read, it looks like the base roster is only going to have 11 characters that they're going to start out with, which is kind of like I would expect that from an Arc System game. Most time base games for Arc System games, their base rosters normally for the first entry of a game is really not that big, and plus this is Granblue Fantasy, so I don't know the vastness of the character choices that they have coming from this franchise at all, so I don't really know anything about that. So I'm quite curious to see what's going on with this game. I love what they're doing with the RPG mode, and it's going to have some co-op play added to it as well, which I like to see how that's implemented. And also a lot of these new characters that they revealed and show off, their gameplay looks interesting, and I just love the overall design of this game. So I definitely want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you looking forward to giving this game a try? Because the game does release February 2020, which it gives me enough time to be able to space out what games I'm gonna be able to play in my backlog, so I can be able to prepare for this game as well. And then the following one, we do have Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is also nuts and ridiculous all in itself. So I'm definitely looking forward to this game, and I definitely want to hear your thoughts on what you think about this game so far. And do you think that this is going to be a good game to introduce players not only to Arc System games but into fighting games as well with their gameplay mechanics. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button as well, and if you want to be updated with more Granblue Fantasy Versus news, make sure you hit the bell to be notified. This is MugenLord signing off. See you game fiends later. Peace out. It looks like you reached the end of the video. Well, while you're at it, check out some of my other discussion videos by clicking on the annotations below, and don't forget to follow me on other social media platforms to stay up to date with future content. Signing off.